Welcome to Halbertology, where you will learn how to create your unique selling story and dominate your market. In the last video, we demonstrated the power of words and how the right words can change the world as we know it. That's the power of the right message to the right people at the right time. Before this series is complete, you will see how to use story to drive sales and growth profits. You will learn how to interject emotion into your unique story in such a way that it makes it irresistible to your prospects. Before we get started, let me ask you a couple of questions. Does it feel like you are never totally in control of your marketing? Are your results inconsistent? Do you wish you had an automated sales process in place that consistently made you money? Do you feel like you need help, but you don't know where to go or who to trust? Over the next few weeks, I want to help you solve some of these challenges with the privileged information I learned working with one of the greatest copywriters who ever lived, and some of the brightest, most talented marketers in the world today. You could, of course, try and do it the hard way by spending your way to success. The only problem with that is, of course, that most people who try this route will usually go bankrupt before they see a profit. The good news is that you don't need to. What you are about to discover has already been proven to work throughout the course of many thousands of split-run tests, over many years, costing millions of dollars in ad spend. We call it the Base Trilogy, and it is the foundation, the base, of any great marketing. If you get this one thing right, you will grow faster than you could have ever imagined, and if you get this one thing wrong, you will join the others in the graveyard of broken dreams. It's the reason why 70% of some emails are opened, while others can barely get 5% of their audience to look at their message. It's the reason why Apple has an almost cult-like following, and why people will stand in the rain for 24 hours just to be the first to get their latest product. When used in combination with the other things I'm going to teach you, it could transform how you do business. You will become a magnet for your given niche and almost overnight be considered the authority in your market. The most important part of the Base Trilogy is the message. Get this right and people will stand in line to give you money. Get it wrong and nothing can save you from failure. To demonstrate this in a way that you will likely never forget, my dad, Gary Halbert, had his audience draft 2 distinctly different letters to their mom. But first I want to warn you, this contains some very frank language, and it's there for a purpose. It's to make a point. So let's look at the 2 letters. This is the nice Dear Mom letter. Dear Mom, I'm very busy right now, and I don't have time to call you. That's why I'm writing you this letter. You know, Mom, not only are you responsible for my very existence, you are also the nourishment that has made my life sparkle. I'm under a lot of stress right now, and for some reason I started thinking about you. And it has occurred to me, maybe I haven't let you know recently how much I appreciate you and how much I love you. I especially like remembering you. This is where you can add a fond memory of your mother. Anyway, I'm going to make it a point to see you just as soon as I can. Love. Then you can sign your name or use a pet name. Now imagine how different her reaction might be if instead she received this letter. Dear Mom, if I weren't such a long way from home, I probably wouldn't have the guts to tell you this. But the following has been true ever since I was born. You have made my life a living hell. Every person I know has a mother that is superior to you in every positive way imaginable. You are nothing more than a wrinkled up old bitch, and as far as I'm concerned, the biggest waste of skin God ever created. Speaking of God, as the Lord knows, you're certainly not too mentally swift either. So just in case your low IQ keeps you from understanding what I'm trying to say, let me make it perfectly clear. Eat shit and die. Please don't call or write me. I have no inclination whatsoever to communicate with you ever again. Reluctantly, your son or daughter. P.S. Dad sucks too. This is a pretty dramatic demonstration, but my dad wanted to make the point very clear that both of these letters took about the same amount of time to write and cost exactly the same to mail. But do you think these 2 letters would get a dramatically different reaction from your mother? That was the point. The message is everything, and the right message is just a matter of using the right words. Let's dive a bit deeper into this. The number one thing we must do is build an instant relationship with our customer. Building that relationship in the old days was about getting in the room and making a connection. The basics are still the same, but the medium has vastly changed. The room is now a screen, and the connection must be instantaneous. You can create a bond with nearly anyone with the power of words. I'm going to teach you how to do just that. Words at their root are just symbols. They're really just marks on a page. What makes it a word? What makes it a specific word, with a host of definitions and personal thoughts attached to it, is meaning. Meaning is created through shared experience and memory and is hugely linked to emotions. Fear, greed, lust, hunger, desire, holiness, purity, clarity, beauty. Each of these words mean something and can mean different things to people in different situations. One of the most successful writers on the planet is Stephen King. In his best-selling book, On Writing, a memoir of the craft, he titles a chapter, What Writing Is. It begins, telepathy, of course. If you consider what words really do, convey thoughts, emotions, and meaning, he's exactly right. So should we use words to convey the thoughts and emotions we are having to our prospects? Nope. We want to use them to convey their own thoughts, emotions, and meanings to them. When you master the art of persuasion, you can tell your prospect what he thinks and he will agree with you. So, can we just say you need to buy this widget now and have them all line up to do so? We all know that doesn't happen. So what is missing? A compelling story that builds that instant connection between your product and the customer's emotions. You have to join the conversation already taking place in their head. That is what you will learn to do a bit of today. This may be familiar to some of you, and if it isn't, it will be very soon. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The base is made up of our most common needs, the fundamentals, if you will. And as it progresses, the emotional impact of each need evolves. It takes us from shelter, food, water, heat, and safety, all the way up to the nirvana of self-actualization. The deficiency needs, D needs, as defined by Maslow, are esteem, friendship and love, security, physical needs. We have found that Maslow's theory is right on. If any of the D needs are not being met, a person feels anxious, ill at ease, angry, and can even become physically ill. Meeting these physical, psychological, and most important to us, emotional needs is essential to your ability to persuade. Why does this matter? Because at any time your prospects can be feeling any or all of these emotional needs. Whenever you are creating a marketing piece, this pyramid should be at your elbow, helping you remember why your product or service matters to your customer. So where does your product or service fit into this pyramid? That depends on a few things. Obviously, the product you are selling will determine where on the pyramid your message should focus. For example, in the case of something as basic as transportation, Volvo has sold safety for decades with great success. Ferrari is also an automobile, yet they find a great deal more success by targeting self-esteem. Both are cars, yet the messages are very different. It's all about crafting your message to the individual needs, wants, or desires of your specific audience. You must meet your prospect in the emotional state they are already in and form a bond with them, showing them how what you have is an exact match and solves their specific problem or fulfills their specific desire. You want to do this in such a way that they are not feeling like they are being sold, but rather like they have discovered on their own the perfect product or service to fill their emotional need. We will be revisiting Maslow's pyramid several times in this course, and will really drill down into each emotional state and how you can exploit these common needs to make money. In our next video, we will help you define your market and create a marketing message that hits all the right hot buttons and drives your prospects to take action. We will talk about marketing hot buttons, sex appeal, and status, and how keying into the right emotions can build your tribe into a group of hungry, raving fans who will happily give you their money. We're going to get into some pretty amazing mojo that will put you miles ahead of your competition and allow you to dominate your market. See you then.